says you are live. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Danny and Gary Show. I hope you're surrounded by love and you're ready to open your heart and sing and do what we can do to put some good vibes out in the world.
It's a little overdue. We need to have a live appearance on camera by Danny soon.
And why did you have to start with that?
Because it's my favorite thing. We love it.
Don't bug me.
Everybody loves it.
And Gary's wearing his Duka Hanamoku shirt, which I love. So,
Well, explain the shirt, honey.
Duka Hanamoku, if you haven't seen The Watermen, it's a great documentary about Duka Hanamoku, who really is what the aloha spirit is all about. Bob Fischera's here. Hi, Bob. So glad you're here. No radio show tonight, so you get to join us for the whole time. I love that.
But a little more about Duke, about how he kind of brought surfing to
he brought surfing to the world, really, and he was quite an amazing person and lived with the highest integrity and is kind of the definition of the aloha spirit, which is with a very open heart, and he was so talented, and what he did in his lifetime was pretty amazing. If you haven't watched The Waterman, I would encourage you to do so. And this is one of his, he used to always wear this Hawaiian shirt, so this is the Duka Hanamoku vintage print, Hawaiian print.
It's Netflix. It's on Netflix, right?
I don't remember if it's Netflix.
I'm pretty sure it's Netflix.
Anyway, let us know you're here and
how are you. Called The Waterman.
It's called The Waterman.
You see where Danny grew up.
And so Gary's wearing that shirt tonight. I bought one for both my brothers too.
Well, because it's hot.
And it's hot, but I think I love the way you look in that shirt. It's
great.
Thank
you, honey.
I love it. I love it.
It's John Pratt and Highlands Jam.
Oh, and we got to hang out with them on Saturday. So that was a lot of fun seeing your beautiful faces.
We're seeing them again this week. We were laughing because a friend of ours was inviting us over for dinner and said, "So I want to have you over for dinner Thursday night." And so John goes, "Well, I got to check with my wife and see, and I'll get back to you." And I said the same thing. I have to get back to you. I have to call my wife, get back to him. And so then we both checked with our wives and got back to him and said, "Yeah, we can do it." He said, "Okay, let me check with my wife."
So are we still on? Is it on my calendar?
Hey, Adrian.
Cinda Adams, Cinda and Brian are here. Hi, guys. And Robert Thomas Mine and Adrian.
I'm doing
it. She loves your shirt, too.
I'm
Isn't
doing
it
one
great,
of her requests today. At least one, if not more.
So you're doing at least one or more.
Yes.
And I don't know if those of you that are following the Euros, but, France was eliminated today. And the Spain team has a young player. Yamal is his name. He's 16 years old, and he scored a brilliant goal today against France. And he's going to be like the next Pele. He will change the game. But he's a beautiful thing to watch anyway. So those of you that like football or soccer, as we know it over here, happy Tuesday.
I was doing La Marseillaise.
Yes.
Allons enfants de la patrie, les jours de gloire est arrivé.
And Cinda Adams said aloha. Aloha. And Miss Woohoo, Patty Silver's here. Yeah, the theme tonight is hot. It's been pretty hot here. And we just kind of succumbing. We have air conditioning on the bottom half of the house, and we don't have it on the top house. So sometimes we just hang out in the studio. Richard Kinney's here.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, we're so happy you're here.
Are you still going to the Tuesdays at what is that place? Union Coffee or whatever it is? I forget what it's called. A place in Pasadena. I wound up seeing Rich at this coffee place when I would teach on Tuesday morning.
Where they have the jazz musicians?
Yeah, well, it was like I see all of a sudden Steve, God, why can't I think of his name? Names just fall out of my head. It's
you should write things down ahead of time.
He'll put it in there. Who played with Tom Petty and played with the Average White Band, and
okay, somebody help him out.
Steve Ferroni. Steve Ferroni. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you for saving Gary.
It's just names. Names fall out of my head. It's rain name drops are falling out of my head. Anyway,
yes.
Today is hot. So we're going to do this song. I don't think Peter Krantz is here yet, but I'm going to do his request first.
I haven't seen Peter yet.
Which is you'll know this song. Any baby boomer knows this song, and I guess most people do it too. Oh, Dale is here. Yay. Okay, good. All right. Here we go. Here we go. summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirty and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around, people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk harder than a match head. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Despite the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the summer in the city, in the summer in the city. Cool town, even in the city, dressing so fine and looking so pretty. Cool cat, looking for a kitty, gonna look in every corner of the city till I'm wheezing like a bus stop, running up the stairs, gonna meet you on the rooftop. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Despite the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the summer in the city, in the summer in the city. Summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirty and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around, people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk harder than a match head. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. You fight the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the summer in the city, in the summer in the city.
Hot town. And Peter Grant is here.
Oh,
so
there he is.
he is Peter and Suzanne Stewart and Tina Saddington and Lawrence Mark. Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Did you see what Peter just wrote?
And Bonnie Beckman is here. Hi. Everybody's here. Somebody friends. No, I didn't see what Peter wrote. The second concert I ever saw was Loving Spoonful. You were 12 or 13. Wow. That's fabulous.
Wow. And that was were you in New York then, Peter? Is that where you were? Oh, there's Deanna.
And Deanna Hedada, who's safe. She's in Texas, and they're having some hurricane trouble out there, too. So we're hoping you're all safe and you can sit for a moment and let the music in and, open your heart.
Of course, Summer in the City was based on the 1966 heat wave they were having. America was convulsing in a way in a time of huge unrest and incredible violence. On August 1st in Austin, Texas, a lone gunman introduced America to mass murder. Charles Whitman killed his mother and wife and then more than a dozen people, sniper style, from the University of Texas's clock tower. Meanwhile, Summer in the City, New York-based Lovin' Spoonful, Despite the Heat, It'll Be All Right. Sung and co-written by John Sebastian, the band's frontman, conceived by his younger brother Mark Sebastian, who was just 14. Steve Boone, the bass player, contributed the memorable instrumental interlude. The song has endured as an anthem for every heat wave since and has been covered by Quincy Jones, Joe Cocker, and Isaac Hayes, among others. By the way, Sebastian's friend Cass Elliot introduced him to Zal Yanovsky, one of the other founding members of the Lovin' Spoonful. Her folk group, the Mugwumps, along with Denny Doherty, who they later became part of the Mamas and Papas, while Sebastian and Yanovsky formed the Lovin' Spoonful, taking their name from a Mississippi John Hurt song, Coffee Blues. So, all right, so we're going to do another request here, unless there's something you want to say.
Oh, Mr. Aloha. Oh, I have to tell them. Well, we can do it after the song, but I want to tell them about when I got to meet Alligator Jesus and what's happening because my grill is ready.
Oh man.
I have to go.
Well, see,
So,
then you have to go
yeah.
on camera to show your
Well,
grill.
maybe I'll have to do that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely.
when after we come back from this song, I'll tell you about Alligator Jesus, who Savannah introduced me to.
It's a friend of my daughter Savannah's who makes her teeth grill thing
He makes
and other
grills.
jewelry, beautiful jewelry and everything like that.
Yeah, and he does
He
it for like Madonna and Little
yeah,
Nas, and he's this jewelry designer, and he made grills for me.
he's
So
great. He came over. We had dinner with him the other
a
night.
really interesting, wonderful guy.
All right. Heat Wave, not the one from the 60s, but Heat Wave is a popular song written by Irving Berlin for the 1933 musical As Thousands Cheer, and it was introduced in the show by Ethel Waters. The lyrics are uncommonly sexual for a Berlin song. In 1938, the song was featured in this film Alexander's Ragtime Band, where it was performed by Ethel Merman. In 1946, it was featured in the film Blue Skies, where it was performed by Olga San Juan. And in 1954, in There's No Business Like Show Business, it was performed by Marilyn Monroe. Based on the lyrics alone, the Marilyn song is different, and within the film's narrative, Monroe's version is a sexier variant of the original that's stolen from Ethel Merman's character. Irving Berlin, born Israel Bailin in May 11th, 1888, died on September 22nd, 1989, was an American songwriter. His music forms a large part of the Great American Songbook. Berlin received numerous honors, including an Academy Award, a Grammy Award, a Tony Award, and he also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Gerald R. Ford in 1977. Broadcast journalist Walter Cronkite stated that Irving Berlin helped write the story of this country, capturing the best of who we are and the dreams that shape our lives. And that's the way it is. Born in Imperial Russia, Berlin arrived in the United States at the age of 5. Although his family came from the shtetl of Tolokhin, today in Belarus, Berlin later learned that he was probably born in Tyumen, Siberia, where his father, an itinerant cantor, had taken his family. The Berlins were one of hundreds of thousands of Jewish families who emigrated to the United States in the late 1800s and early 1900s, escaping brutal pogroms. Other such families included those of George and Ira Gershwin, Al Jolson, Sophie Tucker, Louis B. Mayer, and the Warner Brothers. Installed as a staff lyricist with a leading Tin Pan Alley music publishing house, Berlin quickly established himself as one of that frantic industry's top writer of words to other composers' melodies. It was purely by chance that he started composing music to the words of his songs. A lyric he had submitted to a publisher was thought to be complete with music. Not wishing to lose the sale, Berlin quickly wrote a melody. It was accepted and published. The success of this first effort opened the door to his career as a composer of music as well as lyrics. By 1910, Berlin wrote a hit that solidly established him as one of Tin Pan Alley's leading composers. In 1911, he wrote Alexander's Ragtime Band, which is already in the public domain. He was also an owner of the Music Box Theater on Broadway. For much of his career, Berlin could not read sheet music and was such a limited piano player that he could only play in the key of F sharp. All the black keys makes it easier. He used his custom piano equipped with a transposing lever when he needed to play in keys other than F sharp. He was known for writing music and lyrics in the American vernacular, uncomplicated, simple, and direct, with his stated aim being to, quote, reach the heart of the average American who he saw as the real soul of the country. So anyway, I think this was requested by Hallie and Adrian and Bryn Cannon. So we've got lots of people who requested this one. This is the first time I've ever played this, so we'll see how I do.
You can do it. My little brother Mark is here. One of my favorite people in the world. I love you.
I love you. We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. The temperature's rising, it isn't surprising. She certainly can. She started a heat wave by letting her seat wave, and in such a way that the customers say that she certainly can. Gee, her anatomy makes the mercury jump to 93. Yes, sir. we're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. The way that she moved the thermometer proves that she certainly can. Gee, her anatomy makes the mercury jump to 93. Yes, sir, we're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. The way that she moves her thermometer proves that she certainly can. Yes, she certainly can. There you go.
I love that tune. Patty Silvershire says she doesn't know that song.
Well,
I can't believe that.
you
Well,
gotta
now you
look
do.
it up. Look it up. Look it up. There's a great
Yeah, there's some great
video
versions of it.
of Ethel Merman on it, but also Ella's. I was sort of doing Ella's version because I tend to enjoy Ella's versions of songs more than anything.
That was the Ella version. But yeah, check it out. There's lots of great versions of it.
All right, because we we defer to his eminence. We're going to do another Peter request here, which is a song by the Kinks called "Sunny Afternoon." It was written by their chief songwriter Ray Davis, it's Davies, but it's pronounced Davis. The track later featured on the Face to Face album, as well as being the title track for the '67 compilation album. Like its contemporary, Taxman by the Beatles, the song references the high levels of progressive tax taken by the British Labour government of Harold Wilson. Its strong music hall flavor and lyrical focus was part of a stylistic departure for the band. It began with 1965's A Well-Respected Man, which had risen to fame in '64-65 with a series of hard-driving power chord rock hits. Sunny Afternoon was first written in Davis's house when he was sick. He says, I bought a white upright piano. I hadn't written for a time. Excuse me. I'd been ill. I was living in a very 1960s decorated house. It had orange walls and green furniture. My 1-year-old daughter was crawling on the floor, and I wrote the opening riff. I remember it vividly. I was wearing a polo neck sweater. He says, the only way I could interpret how I felt was through a dusty, fallen aristocrat who'd come from old money as opposed to the wealth I'd created for myself. In order to prevent the listener from sympathizing with the song's protagonist, Davis said, I turned him into a scoundrel who fought with his girlfriend after a night of drunkenness and cruelty. He said, Sunny Afternoon was made very quickly in the morning. It was one of our most atmospheric sessions. I still like to keep tapes of the few minutes before the final take, things that happened before the session. The bass player went off and started playing funny little classical things on the bass, more like a lead guitar, and Nicky Hopkins, who was playing piano in that session, was playing Liza. We always used to play that song. Little things like that helped us get into the feeling of the song. At the time I wrote Sunny Afternoon, I couldn't listen to anything. I was only playing the greatest hits of Frank Sinatra and Dylan's Maggie's Farm. I just liked its whole presence. I was playing Bringing It All Back Home, along with Frank Sinatra and Glenn Miller and Bach. So that's it. Anyway, Sunny Afternoon by the Kinks. I like the Kinks. The Kinks are great. Garrett Davis is here. Yay. Garrett. Taxman's taken all my dough and left me in my stately home, lazing on a sunny afternoon. And I can't sail my yacht, he's taken everything I got. All I got's this sunny afternoon. Save me, save me, save me from this squeeze. I got a big fat mama trying to break me, and I love to live so pleasantly, live this life of luxury, lazing on a sunny afternoon in the summertime. Girlfriend's run off with my car and gone back to her mom and pa, telling tales of drunkenness and cruelty. And now I'm sitting here sipping at my ice-cold beer, lazing on a sunny afternoon. Help me, help me, help me sail away. Well, give me 2 good reasons why I ought to stay. 'Cause I love to live so pleasantly, live this life of luxury, blazing on a sunny afternoon in the summertime, in the summertime, in the summertime. Save me, save me, save me from this squeeze. I got a big fat mama trying to break me, and I love to live so pleasantly, live this life of luxury, blazing on a sunny afternoon in the summertime, in the summertime, in the summertime.
Stephen Banks says that's nice piano playing.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Hello,
Banks.
Stephen Banks.
Stephen Banks is a little boy sick in bed today, I think.
Oh, I hope you're feeling better. Sending you some healing vibes out there. And David and Nancy Malvin are here. Hi, guys.
Ah.
Sending you love.
The Las Vegas contingent is
Yes, we love them. They came down and stayed with us. And we had some lovely times together. But I did want to tell them the story of, Savannah is an EDM artist. Our daughter Savannah, and Hades is her name. She's playing here in August for everybody that can stay up till midnight. Come see her do her thing. It's her new album. But she has this friend, Alligator Jesus, and he's a very interesting guy. And he grew up in Florida, and he learned to make jewelry and be like an iron worker and stuff. And he makes these grills for like Madonna and little Nas and Beyonce and people. But he's Savannah's friend, and he came over to the house, and Savannah made him stir up his little goo like you get in the dentist. And he made me a grill. And Fiona's here, speaking of my daughters. And so Alligator Jesus made me a grill, and then Savannah also made him follow me on Instagram, and I only have like 4 followers, but she
You
made
have
him
more
do it.
followers
I
than
have
that.
like 5. And so anyway, he texted me and called today and said my grills are ready, so I will send a picture of my new grills from Alligator Jesus. My daughter Fiona is here. We miss you, Fiona, and we love you so much.
We're just waiting for our dog to die so we can come up and
That's
visit
terrible. Don't say it that way.
sorry.
Sam is still hanging on, but
Yes, he is. But we're staying
Fiona's
home because we don't
amazing.
want him to go when we're gone.
Yeah, Fiona sent me a thing today about this place you can go up in Washington where you can go on these little rail cars and you go through the wine country, and we can go wine tasting. So she and I have decided that we're going to do that.
Good.
Fiona's amazing. There's nothing I love more than hanging out with you. And Fiona says Sam might outlive us all.
Yeah, well, that may be true, yes. Too Darn Hot is a song written by Cole Porter for his musical Kiss Me Kate. In the stage version, it's sung at the start of Act 2. In the 1953 MGM Hollywood film version, it's moved to a much earlier point and sung by Ann Miller as Lois Lane, Fred's new girlfriend, who is cast as Bianca. Lois Lane, of course, is the name of Superman's girlfriend, but we won't get into that. The song does not contribute to the plot in either the stage or the film versions. In the stage version, the song represents the company of Taming of the Shrew taking a break off stage during the intermission of their play. In the film version, it allowed the audience to see Lois's fun-loving, risk-taking nature and gave Ann Miller a chance to show off those gams and her dancing skills, especially tap. The line, according to the Kinsey report, was changed in the film to according to the latest report. So the Kinsey report had come out, and it was quite scandalous. On February 16, 1964, Mitzi Gaynor performed the song on The Ed Sullivan Show, broadcast live from the Deauville Hotel in Miami Beach, in between the two sets by the Beatles for their second appearance on the show. Born to a wealthy family in Indiana, Cole Porter, born June 9, 1891, and died October 15, 1964, defied his grandfather's wishes and took up music as a profession. Classically trained, he was drawn to musical theater. By the 30s, he was one of the major songwriters for the Broadway musical stage. Unlike many successful Broadway composers, Porter wrote the lyrics as well as the music for his songs, which was, of course, true for Berlin as well. After a serious horseback riding accident in 1937, Porter was left disabled and in constant pain, but he continued to work. His shows of the early 40s did not contain the lasting hits of his best work of the 20s and 30s, but in 1948 he made a triumphant comeback with Kiss Me Kate, which won the Tony Award for Best Musical. He wrote 300 songs while he was at Yale, including student songs such as the football fight songs that are still played at Yale. His parties were, he had a luxury apartment in Paris. His parties were extravagant and scandalous, with much gay and bisexual activity, Italian nobility, cross-dressing, international musicians, and a large surplus of recreational drugs. Sounds like our house.
Sounds like it could be our Lisa Dabbs is here too, huh? And
Hello,
Barry
Lisa.
Shapiro.
I am
Hi,
doing.
friends.
I've got a request that
Lisa?
that Lisa made. Yes, and also one that Art Brickman made. This is Art Brickman's request, so I don't know if he's around. But anyway, so look up. There's lots of stuff that you can learn about. About Cole Porter. He was. He was married for a long time. It brought a respectable heterosexual front in an era when homosexuality was not publicly acknowledged. However, they were genuinely devoted to each other and remained married from December 19, 1919 to her death in 1954. Porter died of kidney failure in Santa Monica, California, October 15, 1964, at the age of 73. That's way too young. Way too young. All right. Here we go.
I think
hot.
Velma Vigil's here too.
Yay,
I might have
Velma's
missed her
here.
name. I hope she's here.
All right, Velma.
Welcome.
You're too darn hot.
We miss you.
Here we go. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to sup with my baby tonight and play the pup with my baby tonight. I'd like to sup with my baby tonight and refill the cup with my baby tonight, but I ain't up to my baby tonight 'cause it's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to stop for my baby tonight. I'd like to blow my top with my baby tonight. I'd like to stop for my baby tonight, blow my top for my baby tonight, but I'd be a flop with my baby tonight 'cause it's too darn hot. According to the Kinsey report, every average man you know much prefers to play his favorite sport when the temperature is low. But when the thermometer goes way up and the weather is sizzling hot, Mr. Adam for his madam is not. 'Cause it's too darn hot, too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like like to cool with my baby tonight and pitch the woo with my baby tonight. I'd like to cool with my baby tonight and pitch the woo with my baby tonight. But pillow, you'll be my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot. According to the Kinsey report, every average man you know much prefers to play his favorite sport when the temperature is low. But when the thermometer goes way up and the weather is sizzling hot, Mr. Gob for his squab, a Marine for his queen, a GI for his cutie pie is not, 'cause it's too darn hot, too darn hot. It's yes, it's too darn hot.
It is too darn hot.
Too darn hot.
I love that song. That's great. Anyway,
We're doing crazy songs.
We're doing
today.
some crazy hot songs because it is really hot. We're in the studio, which is the one part of the house it's air conditioned. So sometimes we just hang out down here. And Velma Vigil is here. Hi, beautiful. We're so happy you're here.
So we have to have a reunion with all of our friends soon. So Garrett and Velma, we've got to make this happen with all of our old LA City College friends. Okay, so moving on, unless you want to say something else, honey.
No, I didn't have anything in particular I wanted to say.
Okay, good. Summertime.
Until you start talking. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't
I'm
mind.
just kidding.
I got no place else to go.
I'm just kidding.
Summertime is an aria composed in 1934 by George Gershwin for the 1935 opera Porgy and Bess. The lyrics are by DuBose Hayward, the author of the novel Porgy, on which the opera was Porgy, I guess it would be. Porgy, on which the opera was based, although the song, or is it Porgy? It's Porgy, I think. I'm thinking of Porgy Tire Biter from Fireside Theater. Yeah, Porgy. On which the opera was based, although the song is co-credited to Ira Gershwin by ASCAP. The song soon became a popular and much recorded jazz standard, described as, quote, without doubt one of the greatest songs the composer ever wrote. Gershwin's highly evocative writing brilliantly mixes elements of jazz and African-American songs of the Southeast United States from the early 20th century. Composer and lyricist Stephen Sondheim has characterized Hayward's lyrics for Summertime and My Man's Gone Now as the best lyrics in musical theater. I may slip in Billy Stewart's version, too. We'll see.
You're going to sneak something in on us.
Did I just spill all over myself? No, I'm okay.
Well, you have on the Duka Hanamoku shirt, you can't tell.
It's made to be wet anyway, so.
It's made to be.
All right. I'm just going to say, just in case, Billy Stewart was an American rhythm and blues singer and pianist who was popular during the 60s. He was in the Rainbows, a D.C. area vocal group led by the future soul star Don Covey. By the way, Don Covey, if you don't know him, you'll hear everything that Mick Jagger did, he stole from Don Covey. Rock and roller Bo Diddley, discovering Stewart playing piano in Washington, and invited him up to be one of his backup musicians. In '66, Stewart recorded the LP Unbelievable. The first single released from that album was Stewart's radical interpretation of Summertime, a top 10 hit on both the pop and R&B charts. Stewart's weight caused him several health problems, culminating in diabetes. He died in a broad daylight car accident in 1970, just 2 months prior to his 33rd birthday. That's terrible. It's so sad. Okay, here we go.
Hallie Burton's here.
Hi, Hallie Burton.
Hi, beautiful.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your mom's good looking, yeah. So hush, pretty baby, don't you cry. Brrrr, up, chop, 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 ha! Up, summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, don't you know, little darling? I said it right now when the cotton is high. Like your daddy is a rich, so damn a rich girl. And your mom is so good looking, yeah. So hush, pretty little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings come up. You're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your little wings, and you take to the sky. Brrr, until that morning you're free, baby. There's nothing gonna harm you, girl. With your mommy and your daddy standing by. Yeah. I wanna get girl, that's settle right now. Don't let a tear, don't let a tear, don't let a tear, baby doll, I see it all falling from your eyes. So hush, pretty baby, don't. Chop, chop, hi! Nothing ever done to you, baby, pretty baby. Gotta think about that good God Almighty. That's what I said, girl, baby, yeah. Don't you, little darling, settle back down, little girl. Oh, don't you settle back down, little girl, girl. Little darling, do not let a tear fall from your eye. Wow!
Shit, howdy, Gary.
Well, I don't do it as well as Billy, but I don't do it as well as Billy. But
I wasn't expecting it. You kind of scared me the first time, so that was great.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun.
I love that version of
that's a
Billy
great
Stewart.
version.
He died way too young.
I love the way you owned it.
Thank you.
Well done, darling.
Okay, so anything else, darling?
Well, people are saying that they love it, and
good.
Velma is just telling you to sing.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're amazing that way.
Well,
I was doing, Gary does his vocal warm-ups, before he gets on, and I usually come down here and sit, but today I was doing them with him, where you go, gall, 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 gall.
Got to keep the pipes in shape,
That's when the 2-year-old comes out in me, and I'm cracking up as I'm doing the sounds.
Got to clean the pipes. Got to clean the pipes. All right, so this is now Lisa Dabb's request. It is The Summer Wind.
This one's for you, Lisa.
Der Sommerwind was a song composed in 1965 by Heinz Meyer with German-language lyrics written by Hans Brodke. The song was rewritten into English by Johnny Mercer, who had heard the song being sung by Danish singer Greta Ingman, who had also recorded the song in her native language as Sommerwind. He wrote replacement lyrics along the same theme. The song talks of the Sirocco wind, which passes from North Africa into southern Europe at the end of summer, and uses this as a metaphor for the changing of the seasons and the passing of time. It was recorded for the American market in 1965 by Wayne Newton as the title track for his album Summer Wind. At the time of his release, it was predicted to be just as successful as his recording for Red Roses for a Blue Lady, which had reached 10th place on the top 40 and the number 1 spot on the Easy Listening chart. However, it only reached the 86th position. The best-known version of the song is by Sinatra. He had previously worked with Mercer on a number of songs, including One for My Baby and One More for the Road, and Nancy Sinatra would later recall Mercer being Sinatra's favorite lyricist. It was recorded for the singer's album Strangers in the Night, which was the final album he worked on with arranger and conductor Nelson Riddle. The composition of Sinatra's version uses both an electronic organ and a big band, and the lyrics were modified to drop the second chorus. This was Mercer's final work to reach the top 40 within the United States. It was recorded at Capitol after his career had been revived after From Here to Eternity. So, Lisa, this is yours. I like this song. It's a great song. There we go. Summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. You lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song, and then we strolled that golden sand. Two sweethearts and the summer wind. Like painted kites, those day and nights, they went flying by. The world was new beneath the blue umbrella sky. Then softer than a piper man, one day it called to you. I lost you to the summer wind. Oh, the autumn wind and the winter winds have come and gone. And still those days, oh, the lonely days, they go on and on. And guess who sighs his lullabies through nights that never end? My fickle friend, the summer wind. The summer wind. The summer wind.
Lisa Dab loved that so
Good
much.
two and a half.
She sends
A good
means
2.5
lot.
minute song, like all pop songs
I
should
love
be.
that tune. I'm glad you liked it, Lisa.
All right, so we have 3 more songs to do.
You have 3 more songs to
How are
do?
we doing time-wise? Well, I might try to do 4 if we have time.
No,
but
well, I'll get hangry.
I know, baby. I understand.
I like my food at a certain
understand.
time.
So I don't know if Lisa is here.
Lisa
no, not
Dabs?
Lisa. Suzanne. I don't know if Suzanne Stewart
Suzanne
is here.
usually is here, but she doesn't usually pipe in. But I have a feeling she might be out there somewhere.
Well, if I want to find out if she's there because she requested a Bill Mooney tune, and I'm going to do that if she's here. If not, I'm not going to do it, only because I'll save it for next week.
I don't know.
So let's
but
find
she
out.
might be in the middle of her. I think she does yoga. When she does yoga, and she
Oh,
is
she's there. Okay, here we
I
go.
knew you were here, Suzanne.
Here we go.
So happy you're here.
All right, so I used to play bass on this song for the Generators, the band that Billy and I and Miguel Ferrer, of course, the great fine actor and son of Rosemary Clooney and Jose Ferrer. We were a band called the Generators, and we played the Rusty Surf Ranch every month. It was a star-studded event. Sean Cassidy used to come in and perform with us, and as did Steve Lukather and many other people, and Cherie Curry from the Runaways, and it was and our friend Sarah Taylor, and so it was quite fun, and I used to play bass, which I always call a low responsibility instrument. In other words, I never wanted to practice because I could just play everything okay. But anyway, I loved playing with Billy. I love Billy. He's a great guy. He was Charles William Mooney was born February 1st, 1954. He's an American actor, writer, and musician, and a figure in the science fiction community comic book fandom. He came to prominence in the 60s as a child actor, which included television appearances on Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, The Twilight Zone, and Alfred Hitchcock Presents. One of his Twilight Zone versions was the famous the thing where you have to tell the kid that it's called It's a Good Life, where if anybody says anything bad about Anthony, this little boy, he turns them into something weird, and then they plead with him to send them to the cornfield. So
he sends him to the
if
cornfield.
Billy is mad at you, he'll send you to the cornfield. That's what. That's one thing you know about being friends with Bill Mumy. Anyway, he starred in 3 episodes of The Twilight Zone, It's a Good Life. He later reprised that role along with his daughter Liliana in It's Still a Good Life in the second revival of the series, in praise of Pip in 1963 as a vision of Jack Klugman's long-neglected dying son, and long-distance call as Billy Bales, who talks to his dead grandmother through a toy telephone. He was reportedly the first choice to play Eddie Munster, but his parents objected to the extensive makeup requirements. The role instead went to Butch Patrick. Mumy later appeared as a lonely teenager Sterling North in the Disney film Rascal, and Teft in the film Bless the Beasts and the Children. He performed the role of Lanier in the 1990s in all 5 seasons of the syndicated sci-fi series Babylon 5, and narrated A&E Network's Emmy Award-winning biography. Mumy is also known for his musical career as a guitarist, singer, songwriter, and composer. He is an Emmy nominee for original music in Adventures in Wonderland in 1992, and as a musician, Mumy performs as a solo artist, an occasional guest performer, and as half of the duo Barnes and Barnes. Their most famous hit is the song Fish Heads, which Rolling Stone named one of the top 100 videos of all times. From 1988 to the 90s, he performed at San Diego Comic-Con in a band called Seduction of the Innocent with Miguel Ferrer, Steve Lealoha, Max Allan Collins, and John Christensen. In 1996, he was a co-creator and writer on Space Cases, a Nickelodeon television show with themes similar to those of Lost in Space. He got me the gig to do the main title music theme on that, and when we moved into this house in 94, we found out that our neighbor across the street was the Black Power Ranger. So that was kind of crazy. But anyway, and he was also in the series, which was funny. So that was a nice little coincidence there. In homage to the character played by Jonathan Harris in the 1965 television series, he appeared in the pilot episode of the Netflix remake series Lost in Space. His character was Dr. Smith, in homage to Jonathan Harris. He plays banjo, bass, guitar, harmonica, keyboards, mandolin, and percussion. He's written with Sean Cassidy, and recorded with the band America, and he created the band The B5 with other Babylon 5 actors. I think he also went to see the Beatles with Angela Cartwright at Hollywood Bowl when he was a kid.
I know he did see them at Hollywood Bowl. Nancy Johnson is here. Hi,
Hello,
Nancy.
Anyway, this is called Hell's on Fire.
He also has an amazing Pez collection, like
every Pez ever
you
made,
can ever
and like 500 guitars that are all hung on his wall.
I was so afraid to hit one of the Pez's and knock them all down.
Right. All right, so here we go. Drove through the valley on my way to the sea, looking for the answer to what's bothering me. Sat there all day and I stared at the blue. There's no denying I was thinking of you. Hell's on fire, heaven's freezing. I love you, honey, for no good reason. Walk to the corner, watch the world go by. Hands in my pockets and my head in the sky. What does it matter now that everything is fine, when I can't sleep, eat, or even walk a straight line? Hell's on fire, heaven's freezing. I love you, honey, for no good reason, but it's hard. Girl, you make it hard. Met you, I was barely alive. Had no direction, baby, you had to drive. We headed out on the wild open road till we broke down from the weight of our load. Hell's on fire, heaven's freezing. I love you, honey, for no good reason. Hell's on fire, heaven's freezing. my way to the sea, looking for the answer to what's bothering me. Sat there all day and I stared at the blue. There's no denying I was thinking of you. Hell's on fire, heaven's freezing. I love you, baby, for no good reason. Love on fire, heaven's freezing. I love you, honey, for no goddamn good reason. Hell's on fire, heaven's freezing. I love you, honey, for no goddamn good reason.
You did that justice. Billy would be so proud of you. I love that.
It's a fun song.
Claire is here from the Philippines.
Yay.
Hi, Claire. We're so happy you're here, sending you love. We have some people from all over the world here tonight, which I always think is fun. So
My buddy Joe Pizzulo, who sang, never gonna let you go. That song. He was a star in the Philippines. He came and performed there many, many times, and he was very popular over there. So I don't know if he still does that, but there it is. There it is.
there you go.
All right.
But we have lots of friends, and Lawrence Mark wants to know if that's the dream catcher behind you, and I said no. I think that's the clock, Lawrence.
It's a clock.
I think
yeah.
It
was a gift from my friend Lori Reamer. It's a clock that says, "Where words fail, music speaks." So
yes.
There you go. All right, we have three more songs to do, maybe. And so I'm going to do an original tune now. This is.
Well, we like original tunes, but you're moving the clicker.
I know I had to.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a song that's on my last album, which I'm working on.
He's working on a new one.
But I don't know if I'll do a CD because, I've still got boxes of CDs from before. So I'm going to release it all in all the streaming areas and everything like that. And if anybody wants it, I can download it to them. But, who knows? Maybe we'll print something up.
Put it on Spotify, or how does that work?
Oh, yeah. So it'll be on Spotify and Apple Music and all that
That's
stuff.
what we did this week. We cleaned out the attic in our house. There's been stuff up there for 30 years. So
Yep.
we were going through piles and piles of pictures, and it's been kind of fun finding old memories and pictures of, I had totally great 80s hair. It was really fluffy.
I know. She had like a shag. It was great.
I had it was just perfectly feathered. It was great. I totally owned the 80s hair.
Belly shirts and shag hair.
That was great.
All right. So this is a song called Just Be Cool, which is what we all should be kind of doing at this time. So here we go. You can trust everyone, this is true. Trust them to do just what they're gonna do. When they're out there slandering your name all over town, don't break a sweat, don't let them get you down. Just be cool, just be cool, just be cool. Oh, that's the golden rule. Just be cool. That's the only golden rule. Be cool. Sticks and stones break your bones. Words do too. Sometimes you find those kinds of words come from you. Most of what seems malice is just stupidity. Just keep your head, like my friend said to me. Just be cool, just be cool, just be cool. Oh, that's what you gotta do, just be cool. That's the only golden rule. Be cool. Be cool. Decompress, de-stress, mellow out, loosen up and just unwind. Take a chill pill if it will still your worried mind. Don't bring yourself down to the ground, don't let them make you fight. Stay above the fray, you'll find a way to make things right. Just be cool, just be cool, just be cool. Oh, that's what you gotta do, just be cool. That's the only golden rule. Be cool, just be cool. Oh, now that's what you gotta do, just be cool. Oh, that's the only golden rule. Be cool, be cool, just be cool, just be cool, just be cool. Oh, that's what you gotta do, just be cool. Oh, that's the only golden rule. Be cool, be cool. Don't get angry, don't get even. You believe in yourself, open for defeat. It's hard to let it go, but you'll regret it so if you lash out rashly. Be cool, oh, be cool, yeah.
That's the perfect song for your Duke Hanamoku shirt.
Well,
Just
thank
be cool.
Because it's cool.
I know. And I love you in that shirt. It's definitely my favorite. So remember that. But those are great lyrics. Nancy Johnson loved them too. I haven't heard you do that one in a long time.
I know. I save it for the summer.
He saves it for the summer. And so we put travel plans on hold. So we're just kind of hanging out till Sam decides it's time to go. And so we've been here cleaning out our attic and finding all these old pictures, which I don't know if my younger daughter's still here, but there's so many pictures of her, and the kids were always in some kind of costume, and Fiona would have on a skirt and then a princess dress over with a wizard hat and a cape and her high heels while carrying a sword. And there's just millions of pictures
And
of my
Savannah
kids.
was always leading her, like in the store, like, we're going to do a parade now, and Fiona would go, okay.
But they were always dressed up in all these different kinds of things, and Fiona just has the cutest little face, just smiling smiling away, dressing up, and just being a part of the whole fun. But I love how creative they both are.
All right, 2 more songs, honey.
Okay.
All right. So this Harrison wrote this song. George Harrison wrote this song in early 1969 at the country house of his friend Eric Clapton, where Harrison had chosen to play truant for the day to avoid attending a meeting at the Beatles' Apple Corps organization. The lyrics reflect his relief at the arrival of spring and the temporary respite he was experiencing from the band's business affairs. As of September 2019, it was the most streamed Beatles songs in the United Kingdom with over 50 million plays. The Beatles recorded Here Comes the Sun at London's EMI studios in the summer of '69. Led by Harrison's acoustic guitar, the track features Moog synthesizer, which he had introduced to the band's sound after acquiring an early model of the instrument in California. Reflecting the continued influence of Indian classical music on Harrison's writing, the composition includes several time signature changes. Harrison, McCartney, and Ringo Starr recorded the rhythm track in 13 takes on 7th July 1969. John Lennon did not contribute to the song as he was recovering from a car crash. Towards the end of the session, Harrison spent an hour re-recording his acoustic guitar part. He capoed his guitar on the 7th fret, resulting in the final key of A major, in fact slightly above A major due to the track being varispeeded by less than a semitone. Although this, along with Something, which was issued as a single from the album, the song established Harrison as a composer to match Lennon and McCartney. So here we go. You know this song.
We all know this one, so sing it with me, everybody. Let me hear you.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. It's all right.
I hope you were all singing that. And then with that being said, I know this is our last song, so I just want to thank you for coming in tonight and sharing with us, because it means so much to us. It's such a labor of love and a connection for us, and we truly appreciate that you come, and we hope that you opened your mind and your heart and let the love in so that we can be the love that brings change about this world. And so remember, when you don't know what to do, just be kind, and please register to vote. It's a very important thing. And I just want to, if somebody hasn't told you this today, let me be the one to say that I love you and that you matter. And thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, honey. We're looking forward to seeing your new grill next week, perhaps.
Yeah, Alligator anyway, Jesus is going to give me my new grills tomorrow.
I love you. I love you, my darling. Thank you so much for doing this. And I love all of you out there who've come to see the show and who consistently come. Tell your friends about it. We'd love to have more people come, but it's great to have all of you. I love you all very much and hope to see you in the real world soon. Seals and Crofts were an American soft rock duo made up of James Eugene Jim Seals, born October 17, 1941, and Darrell George Dash Crofts. Jim is the brother of Dan Seals and England Dan and John Ford Coley. And they first met when Crofts was a drummer for a local band. They moved to Los Angeles to join the Champs, but the two did so only after the group's Tequila reached number one in 1958. Seals also spent time during 1959 in the touring band of Eddie Cochran. In 1963, Seals, Crofts, Glenn Campbell, and Jerry Cole left the Champs to form a band named Glenn Campbell and the GCs, which played at the Crossbow in Van Nuys, California. The band only lasted a couple of years before the members went their separate ways. Both members of Seals and Crofts have been public advocates of the Baha'i faith. Summer Breeze, the song, was covered in a harder rock soulful style by the Isley Brothers as a single in 1974, which is my favorite version. The Isley Brothers are an American musical group originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. They began as a vocal trio consisting of the brothers O'Kelly Isley Jr., Rudolph Isley, and Ronald Isley in the 50s. With a career spanning over 7 decades, the group has enjoyed one of the longest, most influential, and most diverse careers in the pantheon of popular music. After moving to New York City in the late 1950s, the group had their first success during these early years and rose to prominence in '59 with their fourth single, Shout. It's written by the three brothers, and it became the first single to chart on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 1 million copies. In 1960s, the group recorded songs for a variety of labels, including the top 20 single written by Burt Burns, Twist and Shout. The song had been produced by Burns for the brothers, so he could also teach then struggling producer Phil Spector how to produce a hit. Evidently, he didn't teach Phil Spector how not to be a crazy person. Moving their entire operations to New Jersey, the brothers continued to struggle with recordings and formed T-Neck Records in '64. During that period, Jimi Hendrix began playing lead guitar for the brothers' band. Bringing Hendrix to them to the studio, they recorded the song Testify. Later, Hendrix contributed guitar to another Isley single, Move On Over and Let Me Dance. Then, in 1969, they had the Grammy Award-winning hit It's Your Thing on their own label T-Neck Records. The inclusion of the younger brothers Ernie Isley on lead guitar and drums and Marvin Isley bass guitar and Rudolph's brother-in-law Chris Jasper on keyboards turned the original vocal trio into a complete band and led to the groups reaching the height of their success. So if you haven't checked out the Isleys lately, they're still going and still going strong. Not all of them are still alive, but they're still going strong. But I love their version of Summer Breeze, so that's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. I think we'll do more hot songs. There's a lot more summer songs. Here we go. I'm going to get into keyboard for this piano. Hold on. Here we go.
See the curtain hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. A little light shining through the window lets me know everything is alright. Breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. See the paper laying on the sidewalk, little music from the house next door. So I walked on up to the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune. And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there, not a care in the world. See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking and a plate for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through. Ooh, summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, flowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.